Hi everyone, this is Mr. Neo-Writer, also known as the Wax Whisperer. Thank you for joining me in my latest video. This is the patient who attended with a fully blocked right ear, and they were finding it very hard to hear. Also, they were experiencing severe earache, ear pain, what we call otalgia. And they booked in, and we can see here the wax is really impacted. It's just very soft, almost soggy consistency. It's very hard to vacuum this type of wax. They've also got a very narrow ear canal. And this wax is extending right from the entrance all the way to the eardrum, so approximately 3 centimeters, if you like. So it's quite a severe blockage, and almost immediately I put some olive oil spray in here just to see if I can change the consistency, and we had to use the drops in several phases and layers, because we put the drops in initially, it softens the outer layer, changes the consistency, so it makes it easier for me to vacuum. Once we've cleared that layer, and you can see again here, the wax has become a bit clay-like again, so goes up. You can see I put some oil in again, and it's just layer by layer. Now, I've developed a new technique with the drops, and what I used to do, using drops during a procedure, I used to instill the drops, ask the patient to tilt the head to the side, so the ear that's got the drops in is facing the ceiling, and that will allow the drops to enter and penetrate and soften the wax. And I'd leave it there for a few minutes, and then afterwards, I'll get the patient to tilt the head back the opposite way so we can drain the excess oil. But what I'm doing more and more now, I'm actually performing the procedure whilst the drops is in situ, so whilst it's in the ear. So in this instance, the patient's head is at the right ear. Their head was tilted over towards their left shoulder, meaning their left ear was facing not quite the ground, but towards the ground, and their right ear was elevated toward the ceiling. Instilled the olive oil spray and really filled it up. And whilst it was in the ear, I was standing up and I was looking down into the patient's ear, suctioning whilst the drops was in the ear. And I just find that as it is, it's a lot more effective actually, but it can be a bit more difficult to perform because when you're suctioning olive oil, obviously that's going up the sucker and it can blur the view because the light won't travel through the oil as well as it does air. So it refracts the light, so you can get a bit of blurriness. But the more and more I've been doing it, the more I'm able to do that confidently. So we're probably halfway into the ear now, and so you just see this wax off the back part of the ear canal, just taking it off the back canal, just mobilizing it. This final plug of wax is really lodged in the isthmus, and you can see the consistency of the wax again there. It's just causing the sucker to imprint itself. It's not. I'm going to put some oil into again, another layer of drops or such. I'm using spray here, olive oil spray, and again you can see the oil's in the ear, and I'm suctioning at the same time. So just gotta be careful because it can get slightly blurry, as I said. But you can see they got a good view there now, but then you got some excess oil, so just be careful. And it strains away. The reason I'm brushing the head behind the technique, I was watching some ear surgery been performed. There's an ENT consultant surgeon in Australia, and I think they were performing a mastectomy, so they're removing the cholesteatoma that had formed in the middle ear. And they put, I forgot this is the exact type of solution, but they performed the surgery endoscopically, but they did it whilst the ear was soaked in the solution, so it was like almost underwater. It wasn't water, but it had that same effect. And the surgeon, you adopted that technique because they said because when you got a cholesteatoma, the dead skin is very hard to clear sometimes because of the consistency. So it not only helped to do that, but it reduces. In the case of surgery, it won't be so much so for myself removing earwax, but it reduces recovery time and inflammation. They do it quite regularly. So something that by watching someone else's channel, I thought, well, let's try that with the ear, and when we use olive oil, it really does help. So this last piece, it's really large, so just trying to lift it up. Tug it away. Now on the belly part of the ear, so they're going to be careful. The patient's ear is quite painful already. So I'm going to go to the roof and I think I'm going to bring it down there. And the reason why it's large is they've got a very narrow isthmus. An isthmus is a narrowing of the ear, but they've got a particularly narrow isthmus. So we're half a centimeter approximately away from the eardrum. The ear canal narrows and it widens again. So it creates an alcove, so a recess called the anterior recess, to the front part of the ear canal near the eardrum. So in the case of the right ear, it's on the right side. And also an inferior recess. Now, I've been using these phrases a lot, so if you've been following my channel, we probably know what these phrases, these definitions are now. That these descriptors are. And see, we're just squeezing this tray.